So this Bedouin, unlearned, he does not know how to read, he doesn't know how to write, he doesn't have any education. Something that many of us today, doctors, physicians, engineers, lawyers, we won't be able to see the same. So my brothers and sisters, I want you to stay with me and to remind yourselves that when you come across something, just remember, Allah is choosing this for you. So when you look at something, look and consider that this dunya is a mountain of gold, but you need the pile of dirt to survive. You need to plant yourself, you need your roots, you need the water. That's what you need. Don't think about what you want, but think about what you need. In fact, Iblis alayhi salam had once went to Prophet Isa. Iblis went to Prophet Isa alayhi salam. No, alayhi salam to Iblis. Iblis went to Prophet Isa alayhi salam and he told him, "Oh Isa, don't you say that whatever Allah decrees will happen, and whatever Allah doesn't decree will not happen?" And Isa said, "Yeah, of course, indeed." So then Iblis told him, "Okay, if you believe that, then I want you to jump off the mountain. And if you live, then Allah decreed it for you to live. And if you die, then Allah decreed it for you to die." So Isa looks at him and his face convolutes and his veins start to pop out. And he looks at him and he yells at him and he says, "You wretch, you fool." He says, "It is for Allah to test His servants, not for the servants to test Allah." Not for the servants to test Allah. What is it that you see and what is it that you want to see? Iblis saw that this was an opportunity to test what Isa had been seeing. And Isa had corrected his vision to let him know that you don't mess with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. You understand that Allah's mercy is ever encompassing, but you also have to do something for your own good sake. You cannot just completely rely unto Allah and say, "Hey, I'm jumping off a cliff, Allah save me." No, it doesn't work that way. And so we ask Allah Azza wa Jalla to help us and grant us the ability, the forbearance and the clemency to move forward in our lives in this very fashion. This can perfectly be illustrated by the story of two salesmen. They each had headquarters in New York, and they each owned two giant shoe companies. I'm just going to take this moment to ask our brothers and sisters to please move forward to accommodate our brothers and sisters who are coming in. For every millimeter that you move forward, I ask Allah Azza wa Jalla to grant you miles and miles of houses in Jannah. Say Ameen and move forward, please. Some people don't want. Okay. Two shoe salesmen from New York had gone to Africa because they wanted to open a factory there. Excuse me. They didn't know each other, but they were giants in the market. The first shoe salesman takes a look at the village. He calls back headquarters and he says, "No one here wears shoes. Cancel the order." The other salesman, who had gone at the same time to the same village, unbeknownst to the first one, had gone. He called headquarters and he says, "No one here wears shoes. Double the order." And now look at this brilliance. They saw the exact same thing, but they saw two different things. The first one saw no opportunity, and the first one saw lots of opportunity. So in this dunya, my brothers and sisters, you have to ask yourself, what is it that you see, and what is it that you want to see? On the Day of Judgment, Allah Azza wa Jal will bring two men forward. This is probably one of my favorite stories. He brings two men forward. They both have sinned ultimately in this life. And they will tell, and Allah Azza wa Jal will tell them that you are both banished to Jahannam. You're both going to hellfire. And so the first one, he starts running to Jahannam. Imagine, he's running to hellfire so he can burn in there forever, for eternity. And the second one starts to walk so slowly to Jahannam. And every time he takes a step, he turns back and he looks at Allah. He walks a step and he turns back. And he's walking so slowly. And so Allah will call them both to him. And he will ask them, "Why did you both go to Jahannam in the ways that you did?" And so the man who ran to Jahannam, he tells Allah, "Oh Allah, I disobeyed you my entire life. I wanted to take this opportunity to just obey you one time." So that when Allah told him, "Go to hellfire," he went. And the second man says, "Oh Allah, I walked so slowly because I always heard throughout my lifetime, even though I sinned, I always heard of your mercy and your forgiveness. So I was just worried that you were not going to show me that. I was hoping, I was praying that you would be able to show me some of the mercy and compassion that I heard about all my life." And so Allah calls them both. And He tells them, "You are both going to paradise. Because of my mercy, I am going to show you more mercy than you could have ever expected." So that initially they were banished to hellfire, but Allah redirected them to paradise because each one of them, what did they see and what did they want to see? The first one wanted to obey Allah at a very crucial moment. And the other one wanted to obey Allah in a different way, because Allah says in Surah Al-Zumar in verse 53, "La taqnatu min rahmatillah." Do not despair ever, ever, ever of the mercy of Allah. So we ask Allah Azza wa Jalla to refocus us and redirect us on the correct path so that we can see the proper things. Say Ameen. Inshallah, before I finish the first khutbah, I'll leave with this quick story. The story of the Muslim and the bus driver. There was a bus driver in London, non-Muslim. This bus driver had been driving the bus and he had been about to approach a stop. And he saw in the bus stop that there was a very famous Muslim sheikh. Because he's famous, so he sees him on billboards and whatnot. So he stops the bus and he picks him up. And so the Muslim sheikh pays his fare. And the bus driver gives him back the change, exactly, and he gives him 1 extra penny. So the Muslim sheikh goes back and he sits in the bus. As soon as the Muslim looked at his hand, he saw that the bus driver gave him 1 extra penny. And he looked at himself and he says, "Should I give this back to him? It's only 1 penny. They're a huge company. It's not even going to affect it. They'll probably even throw it away. I'm not going to give him back the money." And then as the bus was about to stop, he said, "You know what? I'm going to fear Allah Azza wa Jalla and I'm going to give him back the penny." So right before he got off, he gave him the penny. He told him, "Sir, you gave me an extra penny, and this I didn't want to be dishonest." And so the bus driver, who was non-Muslim, he looked at him and he says, "You know, I gave you that extra penny on purpose because I heard about the character of Muslims, and I heard about the religion of Islam, and I heard about how Muslims fear Allah and they never steal, they never disbelieve, they never do anything wrong. And so I wanted to test if this was real. So when I gave you the penny, I wanted to see, would you give it back to me? Would you be a true Muslim or not?" And he says, "Just because of your actions, I want to now embrace Islam." And so the Muslim sheikh, he got off the bus, he dropped to his knees and he cried. He says, "Oh Allah, I almost sold you and the entire religion of Islam for 1 penny. So brothers and sisters, what is it that you see? And what is it that you want to see? إن في كل يوم جمعة ساعة إجابة فادعوا الله أن تكون هذه الساعة وادعوا الله بالاستغفار. And every Friday there's 1 hour in which Allah Azza wa Jalla accepts all dua. Pray that this is the hour, and in this hour, pray for forgiveness. الحمد لله رب العالمين والصلاة والسلام على أشرف الأنبياء والمرسلين سيدنا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين. For those brothers and sisters who have joined us late today, our khutbah has been focused on finding Allah and considering that the greatest achievement. And the way that we do that, today's first step that we spoke about, is to analyze our perspective and to see what exactly do we see. I'll end the khutbah on these brief notes. A very powerful anecdote. There was once a Muslim woman who had called into a radio station. She was poor, she was hungry, and she needed some help. So she called in and she said, I'm a Muslim, I believe in God, and I believe He's going to help me. I'm calling in to see if anyone can help me and provide me with any sort of food or clothing or whatever. So an atheist, non-Muslim, an atheist had heard this conversation. So he was rich, he was a businessman. He went to the office and he told his secretary, I want you to take food and victuals and provisions and clothing and drinks and everything you can. Stack up an entire car and give money to this lady because I'm going to play a trick on her. I'm going to tell her. So he told the secretary, take all the stuff to her, and when she asks you, who brought the stuff for you? Who brought the stuff for me? Who brought them? Tell her it was the shaitan. This atheist wanted the shaitan to deliver the items. And so the secretary went and she took this entire car full of stuff. And so the Muslim lady thanked Allah Azza wa Jal. She did sujood shukr, where she prostrated to Allah Azza wa Jal in gratitude and thanks. And then she started putting away all the items. So the woman, the secretary, asked her, don't you want to know who delivered the stuff for you? And the Muslim lady, she said, I'll say it in Arabic first because it's so powerful. She says, أنا لا أهتم بهذا فعندما يقدر الله أمرا فحتى الشياطين تتبعه. I don't worry about this because when Allah decrees something, then even the shayateen will obey Him. So the atheist wanted to play a trick that the shaitan had delivered the items, and Allah twisted the story so that we can see a beautiful lesson. So I have 2 minutes left. And they always say to save the best for last. 3 quick parts of a story. They're all one after another. There was a professor who was always wearing a girl's watch on his hand. And so all his students started to laugh at him. Oh, you're wearing the girl's watch. Oh, you're wearing the girl's watch. And so one of these students went up to him and he asked him, Professor, why do you wear a girl's watch? And he said, this is my daughter's watch. She died and I'm wearing it because it's a memory of her. It's hers. There was a girl who was playing in the playground and her wig had fallen off. She was bald. And all the kids started making fun of her and pointing at her. And so one of the students went to help her. And as she was putting the wig on, she says, Oh Allah, is it my fault that I have cancer? Oh Allah, is it my fault that I don't have hair anymore? And the third story is that there was a young boy whose teacher would always hit him, and he would always yell at him and tell him, why don't you wear some nice clothes? Why aren't you well behaved? Your parents didn't know how to raise you. So after school, the boy went to the cemetery, and he went to his mother's grave, and he says, Mom, can you come with me? Because the professor keeps on telling me, the teacher keeps telling me, where is your mom and why doesn't she take care of you? What is it that you see, my brothers and sisters, and what is it that you want to see? We ask Allah Azza wa Jal. We ask Allah Azza wa Jal to allow us to see the best that is to come to us. Say Ameen. إن الله وملائكته يصلون على النبي يا أيها الذين آمنوا صلوا عليه وسلموا تسليما اللهم ربنا آتنا في الدنيا حسنة وفي الآخرة حسنة وقنا عذاب النار اللهم أحسن ختامنا يا ربنا. اللهم ادخلنا الجنة الفردوس الأعلى بغير حساب. اللهم ربنا لا تجعل الدنيا أكبر همنا ولا مبلغ علمنا ولا إلى النار مصيرنا. اللهم إنك عفو تحب العفو فاعف عنا. اللهم دبر لنا أمورنا في أحسن التدبير فإننا لا نحسن التدبير وأنت أحسن المدبرين. Oh Allah, forgive us for we have sinned. Oh Allah, if you do not forgive us, we will be amongst the losers. Oh Allah, allow us to always see the positive in this dunya and in the next. Oh Allah, allow us to reach the highest levels of paradise with your prophets and with your siddiqeen and with the martyrs. Oh Allah, allow us to see your beautiful face on the day when there is no shade except your face. When there's no shade except your shade. Oh Allah, forgive us. Oh Allah, forgive us. Oh Allah, forgive us. وصلى اللهم على سيدنا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين. سبحان ربك رب العزة عما يصفون وسلام على المرسلين والحمد لله رب العالمين. وأقم الصلاة.
الله أكبر. أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله. أشهد أن محمدا رسول الله. حي على الصلاة حي على الفلاح. قد قامت الصلاة قد قامت الصلاة. الله أكبر الله أكبر. لا إله إلا الله.
استقيموا وصلوا صلاتكم وتفريغ. This is the last and final prayer before meeting Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. الله أكبر. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الحمد لله رب العالمين الرحمن الرحيم مالك يوم الدين إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين اهدنا الصراط المستقيم صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين آمين. إنا عرضنا الأمانة على السماوات والأرض والجبال فأبين أن يحملنها وأشفقن منها وحملها الإنسان إنه كان ظلوما جهولا. ليعذب الله المنافقين والمنافقات والمشركين والمشركات ويتوب الله على المؤمنين والمؤمنات وكان الله غفورا رحيما. الله أكبر. سمع الله لمن حمده. الله أكبر. الله أكبر. الله أكبر. الله أكبر. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الحمد لله رب العالمين الرحمن الرحيم مالك يوم الدين إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين اهدنا الصراط المستقيم صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم قل هو الله أحد الله الصمد لم يلد ولم يولد ولم يكن له كفوا أحد الله أكبر سمع الله لمن حمده الله أكبر الله أكبر الله أكبر الله أكبر السلام عليكم ورحمة الله. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته.
Assalamu alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. From time to time, out of this podium, we have requested help for different people in different needs. This time, your center needs help. To finish the new building, we need help. And inshallah, like we have done before, we will join the hands to accomplish the final phase of completing the building. How many people here are aware that on the 5th week from tomorrow we have a fundraiser? Alhamdulillah. How many people have bought the tickets? So you are aware there is a fundraiser, you haven't bought the tickets, something is wrong. There are flyers to that effect. The ticket is $20. I hope you don't go to Starbucks, but any other coffee shop you go to is $25. Your own masjid you're not going to support. Don't make any sense. Please buy the tickets. Jazakumullah khair.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Just wanted to say thank you for today's Md.Tarik Takkesh. For those who don't know, he is my cousin. We grew up and were raised together, so I'm proud to call him my older brother. No family night tonight. We're prepping, inshallah, for the fundraiser. ICSB tickets for the fundraiser are available. Just like Brother Mirza said, it's only $20. Easy money. Inshallah, hopefully. Mr. Warren and Mr. Al are running for state senate and for assembly. Their table's outside. Please check it out. Look at the ICSB website for weekly e-newsletters and the TV screens. Don't forget to donate for your masjid. And don't forget the weekend school in the Quran Academy, inshallah. And we hope to make dua for the sick and the deceased. Dr. Sherman Jackson and Ahmed Billu will be at the fundraiser. Just that by itself is worth the $20 ticket. $200.
Alhamdulillah, wassalamu ala Rasulillah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Allahumma khudh al-muslimina wal-muslimat wal mu'minina wal mu'minat al-ahya'i wal amwat wa rahmatna fa'ina wa ولا تحرمنا أن تعلمنا ما توفقنا يا رب فيما يسر المصادر إنك على كل شيء قدير. اللهم يسر أمرنا ويسرنا وانفعنا. اللهم لا نحرمنا من يا الله واشف مرضانا اللهم اشف مرضانا، اللهم رب الناس استهدف العام من الشفاء وانت الشافي، لا شفاء الا شفاءك، شفاء لا يغادر سقما. اللهم ارحم موتانا وموتى المسلمين، اللهم ارحم موتانا وعافِ مبتلانا، اللهم اشف مرضانا وارحم موتانا وعافِ مبتلانا. ربنا عليك توكلنا واليك انبنا واليك المصير. ربنا اتنا في الدنيا حسنه وفي الاخره حسنه وقنا عذاب النار. وصلى الله على سيدنا محمد وعلى اله وصحبه اجمعين.
By the way, the $20 includes a fancy dinner. Maybe now you'll buy it.